It is Mother's Day, and we are talking all about moms today. We're going to just honor you and dedicate the show to you. Even in this poor economy, some working moms, however, are willing to make less money if they can spend more time at home with their families. In a new survey from Career Builder, almost 1 in 3 working moms said they'd take a job with a pay cut if it meant they could spend more time with their kids. About 1/4 of moms also say they would work from home at least once a week. And as a working mom, I agree. I would take less money if I could spend more time at home, especially during the summer months when my kids are off, when they have the free time.
Now, I wonder if companies are going to pay attention to this and maybe make adjustments for working mothers and give them a day at home or give them a pay cut. I feel like any company out there wouldn't say, no, 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 you can't have a pay cut.
Well, yeah, I mean, people are taking pay cuts left and right anyway, and there's a lot of people looking for a job out there, so if you're willing to take a job for a little less money than the normal price, then I'm sure they're out there. And I think that's the most important thing is family. Everyone says that. You even hear it in those mafia movies, you know, family is the most important.
Right.
Well, it's still
the mother is the glue.
Right, there you go.
But you know what, as a mother, I think in these tough economic times, I would be afraid to approach my employer and say, you know, I'd be willing to take a pay cut if I could work maybe from home or something. I don't know if a lot of employers would go for that.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to bring up.
Okay, here's a question for anybody, mom, dad, children. Could you name the dirtiest spot in your home? I could name a few spots. You might be surprised at what it really is. Most people would probably say their bathrooms are the dirtiest, but you know what? It's actually your kitchen. Scientists from the Public Health Safety Administration recently tested homes to check for germs on everyday household objects. That's what it is. The #1 germiest thing? Sponges. Kitchen sinks and toothbrush holders come in 2nd and 3rd. I think I've heard that before. Ooh.
I would have thought the bathroom immediately,
Me
but
too.
but then when I heard this story and we read it, the sponge. I mean, yeah, I use that thing to clean everything. I'll clean the floor real quick, and then I'll take it up to the counter and then leave it there. You know, and I think it has to do with the amount of rotation you do between your sponges. If you're changing those sponges, then it's probably not going to be so bad.
But how many of us have tolerated that vile smell from them, and you still, yeah, that's fine.
Just wash the dishes with it. I remember they did this on Mythbusters, and it was overwhelming the amount of bacteria. But it doesn't mean that your sponge is doomed or you have to throw it out. I actually found out that you can microwave your sponge, and that gets rid of 99% of bacteria, or you can run it through the dishwasher, and that gets rid of like 99.99999%. So sponges can last longer, and you can get rid of bacteria.
Spend a few bucks and maybe just buy a new one.
Get a new one. That's also an option.
All right. We're going to talk just a little bit of fun politics right now. Would you vote for Donald Trump as president of the United States? Well, guess what? An overwhelming number of New Yorkers say no. A new Marist poll found that 75% of voters in New York State disapprove of their hometown boy, Trump, running for the Oval Office. That includes 2/3 of Republicans who they say would rather see former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani or Governor George Pataki be the GOP candidate. How about that?
Now, I think a huge reason why some New Yorkers, myself included, may not be willing to vote for Trump is that we see him as a reality star. He did The Apprentice for so long, and obviously he is a very successful businessman, but he also is in our homes every Thursday night saying you're fired.
Right, it's kind of like one of those, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have your cake and be president too. But I think also we shouldn't look at people, you know, their outside, you know, features for, you know, as to why we're going to vote for them for president. I think in Donald Trump's case, though, he's very polarizing to begin with, so I can understand that. In the Conservative Party, they're conservatives, and he's a conservative, but he's not your average conservative.
And when you're talking about features, you're not talking about we don't want to elect his hair into office, right?
Just imagine that.
I'd be in.
As long as there's a brain under that hairdo, then
cares,
maybe
right?
it'll work, right?
Or even no hair.
Right.
All right. Ellie, we're going to move on to you.
Yes.